All right, good morning. Well, we are super excited to be back in the Valley for a little stretch here. We've been on the road 3 out of the last 4 games and hadn't played here since, I guess, October the 2nd. So it's been quite a while, and so really looking forward to being in the Valley for the next couple of weeks. And it's our last 2 home games of the year, and we all get excited about the season every single year. There's always so much enthusiasm and energy, and man, we got 2 more home games, and man, I hope our fans will come out and really support this team, who's really focused on having a great finish. As Ross said, Military Appreciation Day is special, really anywhere, but Clemson just does an amazing job. They really do. It's an incredible experience every single year at Military Appreciation here at Clemson. So hopefully, again, we'll have a great crowd, show up early, and really support all the great military heroes that we have that'll be honored. This is our first meeting with UConn. Never played them. I've never played them in anything, honestly, but excited about the game. They're obviously a team in transition with coaching change and with Coach Spanos, and they're a very young team. I mean, they're probably one of the youngest teams in college football across the board. They got to be in the top 4, 5, or 6 youngest teams out there. A lot of young talent. They've got some athletic guys. Got some South Carolina kids that I know will be super excited to play against us as well. And they're playing a lot better down the stretch. They 2-point game against Wyoming, 2-point game against Vandy. They are competing. Middle Tennessee, they were right there in that game late in the 3rd quarter. So you can see the team and buying into what Coach Spanos is trying to get them to do from energy and effort, sound in what they do schematically. They present some challenges. Offensive line, and I think their 2 tackles are excellent players, really good players, and they got some skill. They're just young. They got freshman receivers. They've had some injuries at quarterback. Number 8's come in and done a nice job for them. But, look forward to competing against these guys. And the biggest thing I'd say with them is the unknown. They haven't played a game since October the 22nd, which is incredibly unusual for November football. It's basically like an opener. You got 3 weeks off. There's a lot you can do in 3 weeks from a football standpoint. That's a spring practice basically. So there's a lot of unknown. That's makes you a little uneasy because again that's just a lot of time for one team to prepare for one opponent. And in the meantime, we've got 4 days to get ready. So that's a little bit of a challenge. We're excited about it and really hope our crowd will come out and. Let's have two great weeks in the Valley supporting this team that has battled their tails off all year long. They have competed and continue to respond week in and week out and getting better. But injury-wise, the only guy that's definitely out is Ngata. We'll have a couple other days that are probably guys that'll be probably day to day, but he's the only one that's out. And then Paul Teo has left the team. He's entered into the portal. So appreciate his contributions and wish him well with what he does next. And with that, we'll take your questions.
Dabo, on the topic that Bubble Betty took up last night on your radio show, you mentioned the perimeter.
I think it's Becky. I think it's Becky. I think.
Oh, Becky.
I think
Sorry,
it's Becky. Yeah. Becky. And Becky.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
On the topic of the guys playing better on the perimeter, mainly blocking,
yeah.
What have been the ingredients into sort of shoring that up from what it was earlier?
Yeah. You got to execute. Doesn't matter what you call. Nothing's good when you don't execute properly. This game's blocking, tackling, throwing, catching. It's all comes down to precision in what you do. And being good at it. But we've made improvement. We really have. I mean, we've gotten I guess that was our 6th offensive line combination in 9 games. But we are getting some continuity. We've been much more consistent, and as a result, we've gotten the run game going, and not having a bunch of unblocked guys and things like that. And then in particular, the receivers I think have been better on the perimeter, which has been good. We've had some explosive runs. Just playing. We're not the Chiefs yet, but we're playing a lot better. And again, growing a bunch of guys up, a bunch of young players that are getting a lot of experience, starting with your quarterback, who's still a young player, and he's getting better. He's making some improvement. He's still not where we need him to be, but he is definitely improving and getting better. I like what he's doing. Obviously, our 3 young backs are going to be special players, and they've all had their moments, and missed some opportunities there too. Our tight ends are really exciting. What the year Davis Allen has had, and now you look at Sage coming on and Brenny. Man, just got a bright future there. Same thing at receiver. It was good to get Dakari in there. He's been a guy that's kind of been, transitioning and really learning. And man, I thought he competed, played his tail off, playing fast. Bo, has really been there all year. He's learned a lot. He can easily play a couple spots for us. And getting EJ back. EJ was out all last week. He didn't practice till Thursday with a family situation. But and then he had knee surgery before that. So getting him back, and then Ross has had really 2 or 3 really good games in a row now. So I'm pleased with what we're doing. Again, injuries has been tough. Really battling just kind of musical chairs there, but through that we're getting better, and so hopefully we can continue to stay the course and have a great strong finish. I mean, back-to-back weeks we've had to go win the game. You either go score or you get beat, and our guys have been able to do that. We've had a great 2-minute drive last week with a minute 30 minus 14. We opened up well. So the guys are just playing with more confidence, and again, a lot of that's just continuity, and coaches have done a good job of really just hanging in there with them and working through it. But got a lot of guys back on this team, and they'll be much improved because of the experience they've gotten this year. Marcus Tate getting better. Walker Parks, true sophomore, first-year starter. Putnam's been out now a couple weeks, and the experience that we've been able to get with Rayburn and Trotter, and so it's I think heading in the right direction for sure from a precision execution standpoint.
I guess in terms of Paul, the offensive line's obviously already thin. I mean, who do you look to be reserved behind the guard?
We can't ship anybody in here right now, so we got again, obviously we got the guys that are hurt and out, so we've got our starters that have been starting. Obviously Putnam is eventually we'll get him back, but Trent and Mitchell and Tucker are the 3 guys that have been kind of repping all year, and then we'll move Tristan and Ryan. Now they're not in a danger of losing their red shirt. So we'll get them. We brought them up from the scouts yesterday, and they've been in power hour. Grinding down there in the weight room, all falling on the scout team. So we'll move those guys up, but we'll just keep rolling what we got. We've developed a lot of versatility in that offensive line, that's for sure. We got a lot of guys that can play multiple positions, and really excited about the group. And with Paul leaving, we still got our number. Our number in the OL is 15, and we're going to sign a couple, and we'll be at 15 unless something changes. So. We just got to get guys back from injury is the biggest thing. But numbers-wise, we're fine.
Dabo, will DJ be limited at all on what he does this week in practice, or expect him to be full?
We limited him. We held him yesterday just to give him another day to kind of. I mean, he kind of stood back and repped, on his own every play, just kind of mentally and footwork and all that stuff. But we just kind of kept him out. But he'll start working back in there today and get him going.
What's Putnam's status?
He'll be most likely out this week. He's kind of day to day, but he'll probably be a guy we may hold another week. He's been battling for all year. I still can't believe he played the second half of the Florida State game. I mean, just unbelievable how he gutted it out. Unbelievable. And so, I mean, his foot was as black as this microphone right here. Incredible. He played the whole second half. Just as tough a kid as we got on this team. And so he's a lot better, and we'll see where he is. Thursday I'll probably have a little better answer because he is a lot better and improving. But if we can hold him, we may try to do that regardless of what his status is.
With that being said, how do you feel like Trotter kind of graded out, just filling in for Mike?
Trotter's doing well. Trotter is holding his own, man. He's crafty. He's a very technically, fundamentally sound, kid. He's tough. He's strong. He understands leverage. He's got excellent feet. He's not a 300-pounder, but he really plays bigger than he is. I mean, he's a good player, and I'm really happy. And again, we expected him to be one of those guys that helped us, a good bit early, but he broke his hand and literally the week he got the club off, he's got to go start at center against Syracuse. And did a good job for us except one play, but he's done a nice job, and so has Rayburn. Rayburn is a redshirt sophomore. Both those guys are redshirt sophomores, and they've kind of been through the battles, and they just, light has come on for them. So really proud of what he's done.
With Andrew and Kobe, is there a potential they'll be clear and they can just practice during this week, or they still going to be in protocol, might hold them out?
They're they're in the protocol, since Saturday and doing better, and we'll see where they are today when we get out there, but anticipate they'll be good to go.
Yeah, but what have you seen from Dakari in practice just to feel like he deserves more opportunities?
Well, he's been competing his tail off. He struggled early just with consistency in just the playbook and execution, the details, the details of what we got to do, and he's just really, it's just slowed down a little for him, and he's put the work in. He's a big body kid, but he plays fast and he competes. And, he's just gotten opportunity. Obviously, we've had a bunch of injuries, so he's gotten a lot more reps, with the group. Frank out for the year, guys up and down, week to week. From an injury standpoint, that position's kind of been no different than the rest of them. The Pitt game, we had 5 wideouts, scholarship wideouts out of the game. So, I mean, he's just had a lot of opportunity. A lot more opportunity to get those critical practice reps and got a little experience in the game, and his confidence has grown through his preparation.
It seems like safety a lot of times takes a year or two with guys to get ready, but end of the game, you got Makuba, Mickens out there making plays. What's particularly special about those guys to make them not just players that can stay on the field, but make impact plays down the stretch in a tough game? Yeah.
Well, that's why we recruited them, and you're right. That's a tough position, especially in our defense. It does usually take a year or so. Last year we were fortunate that the year didn't count, so Mickens is just a redshirt freshman, but he got some good experience last year and was able to really learn. But he's a very smart player. I mean, he knows the game. He's not your typical freshman walking in here from a football foundation standpoint. His dad was a longtime pro. Great defensive back for a long time. And so he just, came in here, physically needed to develop a little bit, needed to kind of change his body some, needed to get stronger. He's worked hard at all that. But instincts and understanding of the game, very natural to Mickens. And then you got a guy like Jalen Phillips, he's a redshirt sophomore, and, redshirt, got a little experience last year. Now he's in that redshirt sophomore year, and you start to see the light really coming on for him. That's kind of a typical progression. But really, really, really proud of what those guys have been able to do. And then Makuba, he's just a rare freshman. Got a little overwhelmed, in a little stretch there when you start. He was awesome, when you're in camp and you really just kind of see him one team and it's base stuff and then you get into heavy install week to week game plan application, those type of things. He hit a little bit of a wall, but man, he's really when you've got multiple personnel groupings and things like that. From a game plan standpoint, he I think hit a little wall, but man, he's settled in. He's learned everything. He knows it, but he's not your typical freshman. And then he covers up mistakes. He's one of those rare guys that's fast enough to cover things up. We've had guys like that in the past that maybe weren't always right where they needed to be, but they could recover from it. And then you got other guys that, they're good players because they're disciplined. They see it. They're great anticipators. They have great recognition, great awareness, et cetera. But he's going to be a good one. That whole group, I'm really pleased with our safeties. I mean, Nolan's done a great job. He's played banged up too. I mean, he's been a great leader for us. And but our safety group has been a real plus for us. Mickey's done a great job with that group.